we are going to start our top 10 in 10 right now. All right, so start off with big ticket. Big ticket book this week or the last 2 weeks. We might be staggering this with top 10 and 10 toys that we might be doing every other week. But big ticket, Wolverine, #1, the Deadpool cover, J. Scott Campbell. Why is this the big ticket book? Because one sold for over $17,000.
What?
9.8. $17,000. Give you a sense.
Dumb.
That is a bit of an increase from the last one that sold in August of 2021 for $9,000. Again, steep price, but it almost doubled the last sale. And then before that was $3,500, $3,600, $3,000. Book is tough to find.
Yeah.
But there is our first big ticket. Second big ticket, we're moving on over to Precode. Weird Mysteries.
Okay.
Weird Mysteries 5, a 4.5. What did this sell for? $10,000? What? Is it a price drop? Oh, let me double check this. I might have left that up by accident. Yeah, that wasn't by accident. Not a price drop. It should have been a price bump because it's actually up from the 7,000. But it's been 2 years since one of these sold in this grade, so you don't see these a lot. So is it the market? Is it just regular appreciation? Who knows with books like this? They rarely come up. But yes, in the grade, it's the high. But I thought it was interesting because you don't see him sell all that often. Going back to last week's news, had we done a top 10 and 10 last week, I probably would have had this in there. Jason Momoa talking about how much he loved Lobo. I mean, he's already Aquaman, so how could he be Lobo too? Though he would be a good Lobo as far as look goes. Omega Men 3 started selling last week based off of Momoa talking about it. And James Gunn taking over as well. Like it was all kind of a going together. Like there's a lot of speculation on the DC side of things these days.
Not Jimmy Olsen.
Not Jimmy Olsen. But this thing, the last was just this week, $126, $77 at auction for raw copies of this, where 2 weeks ago, or at least end of October, this was still where it's been for a while in that $30, $40 kind of range.
I think Mimosa thinks he's funny, but I think somebody better tell him that he's not.
He can be.
Nah, he's not funny. He's not Lobo funny.
Lobo's not that funny.
Funnier than Jason.
It's not. It's more the situations are funny around Lobo. It's not so much Lobo is funny. He's playing like the straight man. I don't know.
I'm not a fan of Lobo.
Huh?
I am not a fan of Lobo.
No?
Never been.
I mean,
Eric.
All right. I mean, it's not my favorite.
Oh, not my favorite either, but Eric has a good point.
What's up? Oh, 28. Well, Danny Trejo's just getting old. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
So what? CGM younger.
Amazon apparently is going to be making a lot of stuff. And one of the things they're going to make a lot of are Spider-Man shows. And starting with Silk. Silk Spider Society. I don't know what the Spider Society subtitle part is for, but whatever. We're going to get Silk. So Amazing Spider-Man 4 started to move. Again, a lot of copies selling the last 2 weeks or so. 75 or so to be exact. I did like a little math count. And it's back up to 100. Well, actually, I shouldn't say back up to because the prices have been pretty consistent in that $100 to $115 raw. What is it? $225 to $250, 9.8. It's been around that for a while. Granted, those aren't highs because the 9.8s were like $300-$400.
Yeah,
a while ago.
Yeah, I remember. Yep.
But now it's kind of leveled out. But a lot of copies have actually sold. So book started to move again.
I like this book. I just don't know. I don't trust Amazon. I don't trust Sony. I don't trust Sony.
I actually won a 9.8 of this book from our friend Comic Man Andy.
Oh, wow.
When he hit 1,000,
yeah.
I somehow won. And
That's
he sent it to me. I still have it. It's in my collection. It's my book, thanks to Andy. And Andy is down below, again, in the links, our permanent links of friends of the channel. Go check out their show.
I feel bad. He was going to come on to a show the other day, and I didn't look at my messenger. So
well, I
feel bad.
All right. Anyway, moving on to our next bit. Daredevil Born Again, rumored to include White Tiger.
Not a bad idea, BK.
Young girl who played Wednesday Addams to possibly be the new White Tiger. But to me, that speaks to we're going to need an old White Tiger then. because there have been 3. There was the dad, his sister, and then his daughter or his niece. I can't remember, but there's 3 in the family. There have been 3 white tigers at least. I'm going to talk about it.
Tiger. What number are we at? I don't think we're going to make it, Pete.
I will make it. Yeah, we're like halfway through. 4 minutes.
Okay.
We got it. But so this book started to move. This is a $1 book. It's been a $1 book forever. This White Tiger series, it's 6 issues. But it started to sell for like 25.
White Tiger.
As high as best offers on 70, but it's really been hitting like 20, 25.
Isn't that the stuff the woo chicks are drinking during the summertime, White Tiger?
Maybe.
White Claw.
No, that's White. Yeah, White Claw.
Oh, okay.
But you can see back in September, and again, the reason why I went to September, because no books sold all through October. So $5 is what one sold for the last time. Toussaint is not Tosin. We didn't get to talk about it last week, but Toussaint is not Tosin, but people still keep buying this book, hoping for something. I don't know what they're hoping for, but it's still selling.
Ah, well, I think once again we did kind of address that last week where people were...
a little bit, yeah. But it's 180, 165, 180, 9.8s, which is actually a little bit of a bump from a couple of weeks ago, right before the movie came out, where 9.8s were only about 112 to 120.
See, but this is how you know this book's bullshit. Because, like, if your height is 166, and that's when a character supposedly was fucking named and shown on a fucking show, and it's the future. They just mentioned fucking.
If this character was legit, if the character's legit, there's no reason why a first print edition like the Just Go cover should still be only like a $20-$25 book.
Oh yeah,
this cover is like 70 to 80. That makes no sense just because you don't like the cover as much.
Well, either way, that
no,
hold on, but Pete, we're back to getting to a more stable market. We're like in a 9.8, the news pop is $350. Yeah. That's the price of doing business is about $350. This book's getting to $160.
Mm-hmm.
That means I smell bullshit.
Yeah. Well, because to your point, this was much higher months and months ago.
I mean,
this is down. Bullshit.
So,
all right, last week's new book. We got our Maul. We got our Hidden Empire, 1 in 50. This was new last week, and it still seems to be selling for $70, $80.
I told you, when people start seeing the cover of this book, this is one of those weird ones. Check the stats. Check the chat. I was telling people.
I ordered some. I got one for me. I got one for you, Marco, and I got to send one to Ruben because he asked.
Why? We should just give one away.
I was going to, but Ruben asked, so I'm going to give it to Ruben. Deadpool, the Biggie cover.
Wait, that's when I put out the link for everybody to buy the cheap ones, and everybody undercut me. And then
I didn't undercut you.
Well, not you. Everybody else. Yeah. Okay.
Biggie. Before we had Eminem, we had
How's
Biggie.
That fucking Biggie?
Biggie, $70, $80, $60.
BK,
raw.
You got it. BK.
I was curious.
This book does not look like fucking Biggie.
Dude, I could have swore yesterday when I started putting this together, it was still available on the Haul. The Haul.com is where it got released. It was still available for $30. It sold out today. Probably following Eminem, everybody went and grabbed Biggie.
Yeah.
But it was literally, I'm telling you, it was available. There were copies there for $30.
Who drew this?
I don't know.
This must have been the whitest square dude who ever drew this. That is not what Biggie looks like at all. Ever.
But I was curious. It's still selling.
BK, that's your boy there.
Here's our Eminem book. We only got a minute and a half left, so we got to get through 2 books here. So we talked about it a little bit before.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
Eminem sold out in minutes. Well, and then maybe it came back later, but it did sell out in minutes. eBay FOMO started hitting. Those $80, $85 copies went pretty quick. They went pretty quick, and then all of a sudden, it started hitting $300, $200, $280 within like the first hour. FOMO took hold. 175 sales. But be careful because there's still over 100 listings and most of them are in that $150 range. So the FOMO took it up. It's dipped back down. It's lingering in that 180 kind of range now from when I last looked. But I don't see a future for this book. I get it. I want one too. I didn't get one. But I'm not paying. I'm not paying this much for this book. It's not. There's 5,000 copies. It's not like low printed all in all.
More than that. There might be.
But and like Dub said, it's not a great cover.
No.
I just kind of want one, and I don't know what Daredevil's doing in the tree. but he's up there. He's up in the tree. But we got through 9.
Go back to that last book. Have you guys ever met Mel before? Because that looks a lot.
Oh, because they
thinner
put
than
him
Mel,
on
too.
that. He put
doesn't
himself
look
on
like
that cover.
Mel.
Somebody put him on that
Yeah.
cover. You made me have to go all the way back to this.
No, it's all right.
Why is it going? It wasn't going. Anyway, well, it doesn't matter. We're over our 10 minutes anyway. And we still got one more book to talk about, and that's
It's the holiday. We're going over.
I know we got to talk about today's book, and that is your Tits McGee cover.
Book. Yeah.
Yes. Jimmy Palmiotti and his wife Amanda Connor, their Pop Kill book, which is kind of a fun little read. Through Kickstarter, I did get 2 of the originals. They did a second print of this cover, the Hughes cover. They did a second print, but it's actually issue 1 inside the guts, as opposed to issue 3, where the original one was issue 3. But this is the second print of number 1. 1,000 copies were released today on their site. Site crashed. Couldn't get it. I was trying to buy it. It's got a steep asking price. Copies started going up right away. Like right away. With the site crashing, copies were going up. As you can see, these prices, $500 to $600 raw. The buy-in price for an unsigned copy was $100. A signed copy was $120. Again, they started with 1,000. When the day started, it was 400 raw, 400 unsigned, 600 signed copies. All the unsigned copies were selling, so I believe they started shifting numbers. Like I saw the unsigned copies dip to under 30 copies left because they actually gave you the amounts of what they had left. Then all of a sudden it jumped from like 30 copies to 130 copies, and then the signed copies dipped 100 because I think they shifted and said, hey, people want unsigned. They're not buying the signed, so let's move them over. So I still think they had 1,000, but they shifted signed to unsigned as we went through the day. All the way up until maybe a half hour before we started, this was still available in the unsigned version. Granted, copies of the original. I think this is partly why it's been the fervor is there, because the original copy, which had 350 copies from what they said from the site, they said they made 350. I'm like, I got 2. The original raw sells for like $800, $1,000, $9,800, $2,000. Pricey book. Hard to find. People like the cover. So that's kind of what drove the market on this topless version. These are the original sales, and this is a topless version. That's why I have censored there. That's not on the book. It's actually revealing, so that's not there if you actually buy the book. Limit of 3 for anybody who's buying it, but it did finally sell out before we started this show.
There's boobies. That's what's being shown. Yeah,
and it's $100 to buy your pair of boobies.
I have a
pair of cartoon boobies. Okay,
yeah. Adam Hughes reworked art, right?
Yeah,
he went back, and that's what Palmiotti said. Is Adam? They gave it back to Adam Hughes or asked him to redo the art. So my question about this book is that based on Drew Barrymore or Jennifer Lawrence?
I think Jennifer Lawrence personally. That's what I see.
Marco?
But I can see the mix.
I'd have to see
signed copies available.
You know what? You know what's sad is
I don't know who either one of those people are.
I do. I'd have to see the uncensored version to tell you who it was based off of.
Neither of them.
Yeah, no.
Neither of them are what Hughes gave her. Yeah, because you can see if you go to the site, if you go to the.
I'm okay. Site, I'm not. I'm
telling for our audience, if they want to see the actual cover, you can see it on the paper films.
Should get a cold can of White Tiger.
But we're not going to show it here. But there is our top 10 in about 15 minutes probably for this week. So until next week, maybe we'll have Dub do some toys.
I have an idea.
Cool.
All right. I wanted to do it because when we were talking that stuff early before we shifted to diners and duck blood.
Yeah, you ain't lying. I got kids. I can't be having boobies up.
All right. Do you want to do the news now? Or do you want to go back to the chat?
I'm trying to say that is stock number was unreliable. The stock numbers were on. Do we want to do what now?
No, I don't. Joe, I don't think it was. Like I said, I think what they did was they shifted copies from the signed to unsigned, because unsigned were selling. Because most people, I think, like me, I'm not paying $20 extra for a signature that I don't really want. So I'll take unsigned. I don't know, but I'm not a signature guy. Like, I don't get the signature thing. Like a remarked art drawn on a cover, absolutely, that's cool to me. Just signing somebody, you're signing your name. It doesn't add value. In fact, I don't want it on there because I feel like you're defacing the book by you
He's a
signing
nice
it.
dude,
You're
though.
defacing the
I
copy.
don't-
AH is a nice cat.
It
Hey,
wasn't
I
a
love him.
signature though.
his
It was-
wife. His wife's nice too.
I thought it was Amanda Paul or it was
Yes.
Amanda
Yes,
Connor's
it's
signature
Amanda and Jimmy's signature on the
on the
signed book
back cover. Yeah,
because it's on the back cover.
Who?
Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor.
Is that the chick from Terminator?
No,
That's
she's an
Sarah
artist.
Connor.
Sarah Connor, you're right.